Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 22 of my Malenyevist campaign in Suzerain. So right now we're about to go have ourselves a meeting with Peter. He named the meeting point 147 Rurik Avenue number 26, our old campaign headquarters. The heavy door had always been a pain to open. Coming! Without further ado, I bid you welcome to this grand nostalgic trip hosted by yours truly, Peter Vector. Feeling sentimental yet? I remember it being much cleaner. That's what time does to things, friend. Over here, remember this? Let's see. He pointed to the gramophone that annoyed our neighbors and kept us company for so many late nights. Peter flipped the switch and it filled the room with swing music from the 20s. I'll be damned, it still works. So what are we celebrating? Life, my friend, life. Took out a bottle, he passed the bottle to me. Sure, let's have a drink. That's my boy. He snapped his fingers to the music while going through the items in the room. It looked virtually unchanged since election night. Let's have a look around. Let's go through the records. I found one of my favorite albums ever, Mountains by Janet Gertz. Which I'm pretty sure that's fictional, but let me look up real quick if it's real or not. Janet Girls. Yeah, it's made up. Oh well, a set of plaintive phone songs that made me yearn for the countryside whenever I heard it. What a classic! You should mail that to Frank so he can learn what real music is. I'm gonna take that. No sense in it just collecting dust in an old building. Alright, let's kind of... You guys have seen me in Fallout and other games here. You gotta loot everything. Pick up everything. Let's see. There's a photograph of me and Monica sitting under a tree. This must have been 10, maybe 15 years ago. We looked so young and so happy. Monica would love to see this. Nice find. Look at baby Anton. You didn't even have your iconic look. I guess I hadn't grown my mustache and gotten my hat and glasses yet. Let's go through the storage boxes. It's an emerald-colored statue of a goat, the symbol of Swordland. I remember it was a gift from Brenda, one of the campaign assistants. It would look good on my desk in the palace. Brenda, always sucking up to you. And where did it get her? Seriously, where? I have no idea where she ended up. Let's take it. Okay, let's talk. Oh, fine, I'll have another drink, because I know what's about to happen. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm okay. Let's go up to the roof. The view is always amazing from there. I heard a sobbing sound. I turned to Peter and saw tears streaming down his cheeks. What's wrong? He wiped the tears away. I messed up, Anton. I messed up big time. Evelyn's leaving me. She wants a divorce. What the hell did you do? I've been sleeping with Livia Suno, so this is my secretary. You've been what? I know, she's your secretary. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's why this is wrong. I should have banged someone who wasn't your secretary, then it would have been okay. Evelyn hasn't been the same since she lost her job, and Livia's given me sultry looks from the day I hired her. You were away, I was drunk, one thing led to another. So I'm probably like making that, Mouth making some trade deal with Agnolia, and he's banging her in my office. But she's more than just a pretty girl, Anton. She's smart and kind. I think we really connected. Don't tell me you're going to run off with her. No, we're ending things. I told her it's too unprofessional, and I want Evelyn back. It's too late. There's still a chance this could get out. I need to talk to Lucian. Anton, please, I'm begging you. How many years have we known each other? How many scrapes have... He's drinking in the middle of this. How many scrapes have we gotten ourselves out of? I can handle this. Just trust me. I turned to face my friend and vice president. The habits that had gotten him dubbed the bad boy of Swedish politics when we were young were no longer so charming coming from a middle-aged man. Yet he was still a capable politician, and I couldn't ignore a long history together. I will be blunt. You will fix this or I'll remove you from office. Yes, Anton, I understand. Thank you so much. Anything for my best friend. See, I'm going with a path, I don't know if I mentioned this before, with Malenyevist, that, like, I'm actually friends with Peter. I'm trying to be friendly with him and whatnot. I grabbed my belongings and took one last look back at the office. It had been home to some happy memories for sure, but this visit had permanently cured me of any nostalgia. I stared at the telephone once he got home. I need to call Lucian and tell him what happened. Or should I call Evelyn? What should I do? Yeah, I need to call Lucian. He picked up very quickly. Yes, Mr. President. I told Lucian everything Peter had told me about himself, Evelyn, and Livia. Thank you for calling me, Mr. President. This serves to confirm the suspicions of my own. We have to meet. What suspicions? I'd rather discuss this in person, tomorrow morning in your office, early before either of the two arrive. Couldn't sleep at all. Hey, our government budget went up. What caused that? I guess it's just the economy. Lesbia trade sanctions against Sorgia. So, Mr. Prime Minister Alvarez here in Lesbia, one of the 100th richest man in the world, is going to try to economically cripple us. Well, it isn't working, obviously, jackass. Informed Lucian. Good, good. I'm telling you, once we just get one more government budget and one more green, we are in the money. All right, started the day at the palace. Dang it! Something is going on with my. There's like something on my desk. I don't know why the mouse isn't tracking very well. You know, this one section I usually have it in. You know what? Let me try something here. Here we go. Is that gonna help? Nope, that made it worse. For fuck's sake. How about this? No. Sorry. Okay, we're just gonna deal with it. It's just gonna snag sometimes. The Maroon Palace was empty, save for a few cleaning staff. I entered my office to find Lucian already waiting for me. Mr. President, thanks for meeting with me at this hour. Couldn't sleep. I'm pleased you choose to call me after your conversation with Mr. Victor last night, although I was already aware of his illicit relationship with Miss Suno. You know everything that goes on in the palace. Lucian smiled. On its own, Mr. Vectorn's established reputation is something... Given Mr. Vectorn's established reputation as something of a playboy, the affair is unlikely to cause much damage. However, a more troubling possibility has been brought to light. A recent conversation with Mr. Hailstone, our whistleblower from Rumburg, revealed the presence of a spy within the Maroon Palace. Oh, shoot, so if I hadn't let the whistleblower in, I might have never known this. Damn, okay, so note to self, always let the whistleblower in. Okay. I believe Miss Suno's our mole. She's been using her relationship with Mr. Vector to gather information. Laugh incredulously. I wish I was wrong, sir, but I've just come into possession of this. Lucian reached into his coat pocket. He's got a tape, basically. This was recorded in the palace at 1809 on the second day of your trade visit to Valdsland. So every trade visit, Peter was banging the secretary. I pressed play and I heard their voices. You're sure everyone's gone for the day? Relax, Liv. Nobody's working that hard with President Stick up his ass off in Valdsland. Son of a bitch. I heard the sound of guessing and then drinks being poured. I'm glad you stayed behind. Did he tell you how it's going over there? Do you think there's a chance they'll form an alliance? As a matter of fact, yes. He and Secretary Hagel just sealed the deal. But enough work talk, Miss Suno. I want you bent over my desk now. Ugh. Lucian grimaced and switched the tape off. And then what happened? You don't need to hear the rest of it. The important question is, why so much curiosity about these particular alliances, if not because they could strengthen us against Rumburg? I found her resume on file. There's a year-long gap between her finishing secretarial school and beginning her career. Normally, this would have been looked into, but Miss Suno was hired before a background check could be completed. By one Peter Vectern. Livia opened the door. Good morning, Mr. President. Mr. Gallade, I didn't realize you'd be in so early. Can I get you some coffee? Wait for Lucian to say something. Have a seat, Miss Suno. Livia sat. She looked puzzled. Is something the matter? Enough pretending. Your secret is out. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Peter already told me everything. She buried her face in her hands. I'm so sorry, Mr. President. I was foolish. Peter was so nice to me, but it's over now. Nobody ever needs to know. That's not what the president means, Miss Suno. We're referring to you being an intelligence agent for Rumberg. Livia sat upright. She looked shocked. Pardon me, Mr. Gallade, but are you feeling all right? He's fine. What do you have to say for yourself? Mr. President, I understand if you don't want me to keep my job, but why smear me with outlandish accusations? Miss Suno, indulge me for a moment. What were you doing in the year 1951? Olivia's face flushed. If you must know, I was working as a cigarette girl at Porto's. It's a Lacavian saloon. I was saving up so I could afford my own place in Holsword. Here's the proprietor's number if you need to double check. Yeah, that's definitely somebody who you just call and it's like, yeah, only if anybody calls you, say I'm from here. This is what I was doing. Why were you asking Peter about my alliances? To tell the truth, Mr. Rain, I was hoping to run for office myself someday. I want to make a real difference in the world, like Miss Morgna or Miss Valda. But I guess that's messed up. I messed that up by getting involved with Peter. Now they're all just going to say I slept my way to the top. Wait, how did you know about that conversation? There was a loud pounding on the door. Peter barged in without waiting for an answer. He was unshaven and wore the same clothes as the night before. I came as soon as I heard the three of you were in here. Anton, what the hell are you doing? I told you I had this under control. Sorry, Lucian already found out. God, why involve her? This is my mess. She did nothing wrong. Oh, because she didn't know he was married. Anyway, there's a small chance she could be a spy. What? I have reason to believe she's been relaying information to Rumberg, information that you leaked to her in your carelessness. He played the tape again. Lucian, you rat bastard. You've been bugging my office. I'm sure there's an explanation for this. I had noticed the vice president's behavior becoming increasingly erratic and unprofessional over the past months. I wanted to get to the root of the cause. So you wiretapped your own goddamn colleague, and for what? Have you been getting off on this, you pervert? Certainly not. I believe that, along with the Rumberg whistleblower's admission that there is a spy in the palace and certain gaps in Miss Suno's resume, this tape makes a compelling case to investigate the secretary for espionage. Whether or not the investigation yields positive results, Mr. Vectern ought to be held accountable for his willingness to divulge such sensitive information. He has to stand trial, or at the very least, resign. Let's see. This man has been attempting to undermine your vice president at every turn, perhaps with the goal of replacing Peter himself. Of course you'd say that. Peter's your lover. Her eyes softened. He was my lover. We've put this behind us. The two of you ought to do so as well. I would never do anything to harm this administration. Mr. Vectern, on the other hand, has at best committed adultery and at worst delivered state secrets right into enemy hands. Lucian, can I speak to you alone for a moment? What are you going to do, Mr. President? I believe you. We should investigate. I don't know. What are we gonna do? I kind of wish I had told them to get out. Let's see. I believe you. We should investigate Livia. I appreciate your trust in me. And Mr. Victor, what will you do about his willingness to compromise Swordland security at the drop of a pencil skirt? I'll settle that with him personally. You may need to shoulder the blame for this. I'll apologize to Miss Suno and tell her this has all been a misunderstanding. We can't have her running away during the investigation. I'll do it myself. She's too suspicious of you. Okay, so I asked Lucian to start an investigation into Peter's affair. So, time for the results. Sir, a moment of your time. Of course, when Livia Suno had worked there, the description of her did not match that of your secretary. However, it did match that of an unidentified corpse that washed up in Lenkirk Bay 2 months before your inauguration. Oh, shit. Further investigation matched Miss Suno's description to a woman named Ilana Vance, last seen graduating from Crimsrad Political Sciences Institute. Yeah. Rumberg recognized the name Vance as belonging to a deeply embedded covert agent, though he had previously assumed it was a man. How could we have missed all this? She was hired without a backroom check. It could have been avoided had any of Mr. Vectern's blood flow been directed to his brain when he selected her, but none of that can be helped now. What are we going to do, sir? Arrest her for espionage, of course. That would be standard procedure. However, if we do so, it's only a matter of time before the media pieces together what happened. I'll get Marcel on it. Marcel? Who's Marcel? Seriously, who the heck is Marcel? I thought, like, where wouldn't it be, let's see, cabinet, characters, history, locations, organizations. Where's the secret police? Who the hell is Marcel? I'm genuinely confused. I'm blanking out here. Hold on. Wait, no, Codex, here. Marcel. Oh, Caronti. Okay, what if there was no trial? This is what I'm doing. Right. Mr. Greiser and his men could certainly take care of this in secret. That's what I was trying to do. Yes, let's do it. A wise choice, sir. By take care of, you mean secretly arrest, right? What else could I have meant? Nothing. We're not going for the Kill Peter achievement today. Lucian looked at me as if I was reading my mind. If made to look like an accident, another covert assassination could solve our problems before it even started. But I understand if you still harbor fond feelings for Miss Vance. Let's just have her arrested, okay? She's too pretty for jail. Good. Anyway, as you wish. I'll call Mr. Greiser right away. It ought to be done by the end of today. I hope this works out. What if she starts squealing, though, while she's in prison? No, I think we'll be... No, let it be. Let it go. Yeah. You know what? We probably should have her killed. At the end of the day, she's a foreign agent. Yeah, you know, we're gonna load up. We're gonna load up the last checkpoint. Yeah. Come on now. Let's go. We gotta have her killed. Not Peter, though. Not Peter. There's just too much of a risk of her squealing while she's in prison. Because I did more corrupt things here. Like I said, she's a damn Rumberg harlot spy. Alright. Come on. Okay, course. Oh shit. How could we miss this? Alright. Arrest her for espionage. What if there was no trial? Brilliant, let's do that. Wise choice, sir. So no, I don't want him to kill them both. Secretly arrest. You mean secretly arrest? Nothing. Screw Liv. Ilyana. Let's have her killed. As you... Oh, nice. I got an achievement for that. It's called By Any Means Necessary. As you wish. I'll call Mr. Greiser right away. It ought to be done by the end of today. Tell him to make it painless. God, I am too nice. It took a minute to gather my thoughts, then headed out to my office. My secretary's outside, typing up some correspondence at her desk. I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding with Lucian. You've got a brilliant career ahead of you. She looked at me a bit strangely. Thank you, Mr. President. I took one long last look at her. Peter was about to receive some very unpleasant news. Okay, let's talk about women's rights. You see, I think that we are doing good on women's rights. I think we have a good attitude about it, because I want to be perfectly clear. I didn't kill her because she's a woman. I killed her because she's a fucking spy. All right? I was sitting in my office. I looked at the clock. It was time for my appointment with Kiara on women's rights. There was a knock at the door. She entered the room with folders in hand. Monica also entered. I want to thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I think both of you together could really bring change to Swordland. We still have a long way to go before Swordish women are able to enjoy the... You know, this Irish... I gotta go listen to some of the Chieftains. Pop in one of their albums. The Chieftains are an Irish band, incidentally. If you're first getting into them, I recommend their album Tears of Stone. Every single track on it has a different singer, including people like Sinead O'Connor. Very good. Wait, no, Sinead O'Connor on Tears of Stone? But yeah, that's a good one. Like, anyway, I recommend it, especially Saki in the Jar, which is very interesting because it's got like an Asian twist on Irish music, but also, yeah, wait, no, Sinead O'Connor, yeah, she's on Factory Girl, but I also recommend Joni Mitchell doing Magdalene Laundries, and what else would I say is good? The Cores are on I Know My Love, so I think I might give that album a listen after this. There's Conquering History Games going on his tangents again. We've been lagging for decades. Money, let's see here. In United Contana, law dictates that women earn the same wages as men in their respective fields. My research shows that this led to a 15.5% increase in productivity. You could say this had a direct influence on their superpower status. Arcasia passed laws ensuring maternity leave rights, child daycare centers, and tax deductions for working families. In turn, they experienced a 12.6% productivity boost in a flourishing economy. Both countries also have significantly lower infant mortality rates, a statistic I believe is directly linked to the improved status of women. Our administration has successfully managed to pull Swordland back from the brink of economic ruin. So I'm asking, why stop there? Why not improve our economy and modernize our society at the same time? It's only logical. Okay, these are the measures we need. Wandering down the list. Oh, I forget. Like, does me clicking one lock me into just that, or is it just going to like, overview? No, I think we go through all of these. Let's talk about domestic violence, though, because I think we're already kind of doing some of this other stuff. I think it's a list, though. Criminalizing domestic violence. It shouldn't have to tell you how crucial this is. It is utterly unbelievable that in this day and age, Swordish men are legally allowed to beat their wives. I agree, it's a travesty. Okay. Incidences are especially high within Bloodish communities. I would also advocate for setting up a special domestic violence task force in collaboration with Bloodish women's rights organizations. Are you sure that's something we ought to focus on? The Bloods are different. They have their own rules. Monica, I'm surprised at you. We can't let women suffer under the patriarchy, no matter their ethnicity. We should lift up all Swordish women, Bloods included. We can discuss the particulars once the law has passed. Okay, yeah, so we're just going through these one at a time. Let's see. It isn't fair that women in the workforce are punished for having children. Remember what I told you about Janice, my friend who basically got fired for becoming pregnant? That would never happen to a man. Paid maternity leave and state-subsidized daycare centers would be key to keeping more mothers employed. Let's see here. It's true, having women never hindered my career prospects. It shouldn't hinder a woman either. Exactly. Moving on. Equal treatment in the workforce. That's an easy one. Right now, Xorland has one of the continent's largest pay gaps between men and women. We need legislation ensuring that a woman doing the same job as a man is paid the same wage. We would also introduce quotas to get more women into positions. Oh, excuse me, that's not my voice. That's her voice. I need to be doing her voice. Introducing quotas to get more women in power, in positions of power in the assembly, for instance. I'm getting dumb, Monica. In the assembly, for instance, or on the boards of corporations. Okay. Eventually, narrowing the pay gap is a far more pressing issue, as it would bring financial independence to countless lower-income women. Kiara, we never talked about this, but I always thought that with more women in power, higher status for all women would naturally follow. Women are starving because they don't make a living wage. That's a damn sight more important than your friend Janice being passed over for a promotion. Well, Janice was actually fired. It wasn't that she didn't get a raise. She got straight up fired. But we probably should move on. Let's see here. Well, we want Monica to be happy. I'm going for very happy with Monica on this route. Although, if I ever want to get... I think she has to leave me at some point in order to get an achievement. But it won't be on this run. Oh, so I can't say let's do both? Okay, well, we're going to tackle the pay gap. That's the priority. Monica gritted her teeth. Oh, please. Thank you, Mr. President. Gender equality. Sorry, the revolution calls for this, Monica. Gender equality in public education. Kiara grinned. You know how much this means to me, and you've witnessed the dangers firsthand. The way girls are shut out of a real education unless their parents have the means to get them out of the public school system. So many bright minds are being lost. I wouldn't entirely mean the old system, Kiara. Deanna still loves her handicrafts classes. Oh, yes, you're right. Why didn't I think of the child who enjoys the arts and crafts section of school and likes it? Anyway, let's see. I'm not saying we'll take those away. Maybe boys should learn handicrafts too. I sure did that. I took home economics in high school. It was an elective, though. But I think there was like only 3 of us guys in there. I was going to tell some stories. No, let's save that for a live stream someday. Monica burst out laughing. Imagine Frank in an apron. We've had this conversation, Kiara. I'm entirely on your side. You see, no, Frank would never learn to cook, and it has nothing to do with him being a man or even him being sexist. He's just a little fucking brat. Good. Then we see eye to eye on the matter. That covers all subjects. What are your thoughts so far? Let's see. You've made a good case for all these changes. Thank you. If we can pull this off before the elections, the Reign administration will make history. Let's talk about how to proceed. I want to establish a commission for human rights in Swordland with me as its head. Our goal shall be passing and implementing a set of laws to just solve the problems we just discussed. As the commission's spokeswoman, my responsibility will be to make speeches and organize fundraisers. I will be the face of the movement, while Kiara handles the groundwork. I can show that the First Lady is behind this movement. If I can show that the First Lady is behind this movement, many women will be encouraged. Kiara gestured down at her own outfit. Especially those who aren't keen on pantsuits. The organization's name will be Commission on the Status of Women. Why bother with a commission? I can pass the laws you want here and now. No. Let's do it through the assembly. That way, it's more democratic. It's gonna be damn hard getting your laws past the assembly. Kiara leaned towards me. Nia would kill me for saying this, but this is one case where using your decree powers would be fully justified. Huh. Hold on a second. What exactly is going on between you and Mrs. Morgna anyway? I don't have a problem if you're lesbians, but you're both married. That's my problem. Actually, no, I don't think Kiara's married. She shrugged uncomfortably. We're friends, that's all. You know what? Kiara's not married, is she? Oh my god, Kiara's got a crush on Nia. Like, it's not gonna go anywhere. Nia doesn't seem to indicate anything the other way, but oh my gosh, yeah, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at some of the events, but isn't Kiara always kind of, when she's supporting Nia, which I'm sure ideologically she really is. I don't think that that's not true. I think Kiara genuinely does, want to fight corruption and things like that, but she always is like, touching, she reaches out and touches Nia on the shoulder and stuff. Oh man, that is wonderful. Oh, poor Kiara. Well, least I could do is get this damn thing passed, since her crush is married and probably also heterosexual. Headcanon is real canon, damn it. Alright. You have the chance to be a hero. Think about Diana and her future. I hope you'll make the right decision. They rose from their seats expectantly. I took a few minutes to think. So they're just standing there silently while I'm doing this? Oh my gosh, it's gonna kill the budget though. Let's see here. I'm on your side, but I want to go through the assembly. Can't risk a backlash this close to the election. I wish that second sentence wasn't there, or I should say the third sentence. I wanted to go through the assembly because that's a more democratic process. I just have my decree powers for when nothing else is going to work. But I think we can get this damn thing through the assembly, and it's going to have more legitimacy if it does it that way. So, can't risk a backlash this close to the election. Really, it's the budget that I'm concerned about. You're making a mistake by not pushing this through right away. But I'm happy for your support. Monica turned to her. And by the way, I don't blame Kiara for liking Nia. She's great. She's my favorite cabinet member, I'd say. She's a griller with values. It's like, I just want to fight corruption for God's sake. That's all the excitement you can muster. We did it! You did it! We did it! Monica hugged Kiara. She smiled uncomfortably. It's not over yet, Monica. The true battle is in the assembly. We will celebrate once it is done. I'll start gathering names for the commission tonight. Kiara started collecting her documents. Monica paused before leaving. I love you, Anton. I'll see you at home. And then they started talking excitedly. Alright, so Codex entry has been updated for Monica. I always click the wrong damn thing. So family, Monica, spokesperson for the Commission of Women's Rights in 1953. Monica will lead the women's rights movement in Swordland as a public figure. Okay, what's next? Swordish League of Women donation. I'll think about if I want to do that or not. I don't think they actually need me, although it's a private donation, so it's just my own money. I guess I could, yeah, I guess, I don't know, we'll do that next time. Yeah, if it's my own money, I don't even think there's anything else for me to spend money on from here to the end of the game, that I'm aware of, but we'll do that next time on Conquering History Games, and I'll see you later. Bye.